Yes, my Between the Liners, welcome back to the show. Manchester United have just lost 3-1 to Aston Villa, Unai Emery's first game in charge of them. And to be honest, it's a pretty humbling defeat, especially after the good run we've had in the last 8 or so games. Villa flew out the trap straight from the beginning, 2-0 down in the first 10 minutes. I don't know, man. It was tough to take. Aston Villa, clearly got new manager bounce. They played 2 up front, I think, which might have surprised our team. Bailey had a top game. Watkins had a top game. Let's dive into it a bit further. I'm not happy at all. Although I'm not the most disappointed either. So let's get into it. We'll talk about the positives first. In fact, let's look at the starting lineup first. Before the game started, I thought Van der Beek starting again was a bit of a concern. But we'll get into his performance in a bit. And also Rashford on the right just didn't fill me with confidence. Whenever we've seen him on the right-hand side, since he's come into the first team, he very rarely has a good performance on the right. And today was further evidence of that. I don't know what it is for him, but he can't seem to impact teams on the right. He prefers to go down the line a bit, do a couple tricks. When he's playing on the right now, he tends to cut back more, tends to drop back more, pass it back. It's not his strongest attribute playing on the right. But let's take it into the positives of the game first. Obviously, we've lost 3-1. Positives, you know what? Van der Beek, I didn't think he should have started, in my opinion. I probably would have preferred Fred or McTominay to play in there because Van der Beek hasn't really impacted the team much. But give credit to him throughout this game while he was on the pitch. I think he did make the right runs, was finding the ball in good positions, was going down past the last Aston Villa defender and going in behind them at least. So I thought that was positive. He was trying to impact play. Just still not a lot on the ball. Just kind of lays it off quickly, plays a little 1-2s. I kind of understand his play style. He's making spaces for others and trying to bring others into play. But yeah, it wasn't his worst performance. Other than that, I thought Martinez was... Obviously, we've conceded 3 goals. I don't think any of the goals were his fault, really. But he was sensational, especially after the first 20 minutes. He kind of set the tone for the rest of his teammates after the poor start we had. And I thought he was our best player in that whole game. I don't know anyone else that was better than him. So obviously, we've lost 3-1. So you can't be too positive about the defence. But to be honest, obviously I'm going to get to the negatives in a bit. I don't think the defence was the main cause for our goals that we conceded today, which might sound weird because we've conceded 3. But other than that, Dalot, I thought technically on the ball, the level he's playing at right now on the ball and defensively is a level we've not seen from him ever. And he's showing serious levels. Like, he must be top 5 best right backs in the Premier League right now based on current form. And I don't say that lightly because we haven't really seen a lot from Dalot over the last few years. Diogo Dalot, however you say his name. But the level he's playing at right now, I'm very impressed. Shaw kind of slipped up a bit today, but we get into that in the negatives. Other than that, positives. Garnacho, every time he gets on the ball, the defender's frightened. They don't know which way he's going to go. His shimmies, his dribbles, his ability to change direction, left foot, right foot, so positive on the ball, so direct on the ball. He's already come in and he's basically one of our biggest threats, especially down the left-hand side. The problem is now Rashford's probably better on the left as well, and I don't want to shoehorn Garnacho in just to get the best. I don't want to shoehorn Rashford onto the right just to get the best out of Garnacho at the moment because Rashford's a more senior player. He's probably going to be more effective than Garnacho at the moment. But other than that, after the first 20 minutes, after our poor start, obviously we was half asleep. I did like the way we played in the first half, and especially coming towards the end. I think we deserved that goal. Obviously it was an own goal from that Shaw shot. But other than that, there wasn't really many positives. Even in the second half, we couldn't really create many chances. I thought Martinez, again, just to mention, like, even the way he was elbowing Bailey off the pitch 3 times, I love it. And like, you could see he was pissed off that we were losing and he didn't want to take it. And I just think we needed more spirit from the rest of the team to come back into this game. But the quality on the ball wasn't good enough. Casemiro's fight was there as well. So let's get into the negatives then, because there's quite a few. We've lost 3-1. I want to say, obviously, our creativity, especially in the second half, was non-existent. I don't even know if that's because of Bruno. It's just in the last few weeks when we're playing the lesser teams, the lesser so-called teams, we struggle to create as many chances. And look, partially it's down to the fact that Rashford is on the right. I think he has no impact down the right-hand side whatsoever. And I don't think I've ever seen it since he's come into the first team, as I mentioned before. Down the left, Garnacho, I thought was probably our most creative player. Christian Eriksen, I thought was poor throughout the whole game. We conceded those first 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, yeah? And I think Eriksen had a big part to play in that. He's not track. To be fair, in the second goal, he did track back. It's just there was a big gap left behind him. Or sorry, when it was Eric Ramsey's goal, the third goal, I did see Eriksen tracking Buendia, but then where's Casemiro? Both times, all of the 3 goals that we conceded were basically Aston Villa counter-attacks, and our midfield, the second line, the defence was there, but the second line, the Casemiro and the Eriksen, just seemed like missing. And Eriksen on the ball was so complacent throughout the whole game. Casemiro didn't have his best games on the ball, but I thought defensively he was all right. Just Eriksen, I think, needed to be a lot more physical, a lot more stronger. And even on the ball, because when Bruno's not there, we rely on Eriksen heavily just to break the lines. If not, it's not Eriksen, then it's Martinez, and he can't do every single pass from the defence to the attack. It has to be linked through the midfield sometimes. And I just think that it wasn't his best game, to be honest. Other than that, yeah, Rashford was poor. I thought Shaw was pretty poor today. Didn't really have any impact on the game, especially in attack like he has done in the last few games. Got a silly yellow card early on. It's just like most of our team was asleep, especially in that first half. So it was pretty disappointing. And you concede 2 goals in the Premier League, it's going to be very hard for you to come back. And obviously, we're just half asleep in the beginning of the game. And then even in the second half, we concede early again to Ramsey, half asleep again. And to be fair to Aston Villa, although we did play poor, they did play very well. Some of their defending was absolutely outstanding, to be honest. Some of the balls to Ronaldo, he was like inches away from connecting and probably getting a shot away or a header away on target at least. Their defending was excellent. I thought Mings gets a lot of criticism. I thought some of his last-ditch defending was amazing. Konza played well as well. Ronaldo should have scored that header in the first half, and then maybe things would have changed. If you're not scoring for us, then what are you really doing? His conversion rate has been poor this season. We just need more. And Martial came on in the second half, couldn't really link the play up too much, just looked casual and a bit lethargic. I don't blame him, obviously he hasn't got match fitness right now. Malacia came on in the second half, didn't really look too convincing either. Kind of looks like he's lost a bit of his sharpness that he first had when he came in. And Elanga come on, and I don't think Elanga should be coming on when we're losing a game, because I think his best attribute is working hard. Whenever he gets on the ball, and especially if we're losing the game and he gets on the ball or we need a goal, he's just so ineffective. He gets the ball bounces off his first touch like 2-3 yards, or he doesn't know what to do. He runs into a defender. I just don't really see the point in bringing Elanga on, because more often than not he gives the ball away. There's no point even bringing him on if we're losing. I'd rather keep Garnacho on. He was our most direct and aggressive player. Like, he's the most likely to create something in that moment, other than Rashford. But obviously, I get it because we had to bring Rashford onto the right, onto the left. Garnacho. Elanga basically only gets in his team because he's willing to play anywhere and he works hard. But if you're losing and you need a goal, bringing Elanga on is not the solution. Look, rounding up the game, positives must be Garnacho. Even his decision making is very good. Tends to make the right decision more often than not, whether he's going to attack someone or whether he's going to lay it off. Martinez, very good as usual, as we've come to expect. Defence, I'm not going to criticise them too much completely, because I feel like the midfield and the attack let them down today. Look, it's a wake-up call, a much-needed wake-up call. Credit to Aston Villa, they played well, they had us on the back foot. Villa Park was rocking. Shout out the away fans, the United fans as well. Heard them singing throughout. Big credit to them as well. Didn't get the performance they deserved. I think we just lack that creative spark. In January, we need to buy a new striker, definitely. And maybe you might have to look at some more creativity. I don't know if Van der Beek's the solution. Maybe Martial might be the solution. Who knows in terms of creativity. But can we rely on him for goals and assists? I'm not so sure. Bruno, obviously, his creative spark hasn't been there as much as it was when he first came, but he's still our most creative player. And when Eriksen's maybe, is he out of form, or is he getting tired? Not sure about Eriksen. Needs to step it up a bit again, because he's set higher standards already and we need it week in, week out, especially if we're going to come close to challenging for top 4. Looking ahead, we've got Villa again on Thursday in the League Cup. I'm actually going to that, hopefully with my cousin as well. Probably going to have a match vlog for that one as well, so watch out for that one on Thursday. We've got 2 big videos coming out this week for top 10 number 9s in the world and also top 10 number 9s in the Prem, so watch out for those videos. Thursday's game, I'm guessing Ten Hag's going to play a strongly rotated squad. Probably going to see Van der Beek starting. Sancho probably get minutes because he needs to show something. I don't know who else is going to start. Maybe some of the young guys, Garnacho, maybe Zidane, Iqbal, hopefully. So yeah, look, we've lost 3-1. Pretty humbling defeat. Not a great way to end the weekend. Hopefully Tottenham and Liverpool draw, or maybe Tottenham lose, just so we can keep our fight going for the top 4. Look, I still believe in Ten Hag. Nearly coming up to World Cup season. Looking forward to a strong second half of the season, at least from January onwards. Ten Hag's turning it around. We've got a reality check, a wake-up call. I'm looking forward to our next few games, especially the game against Fulham next week. This is the Between the Lines podcast. I'm Adnan. I'm your host. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you haven't already. Share the video. Comment. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this performance. Did we get humbled, or what? What went wrong? Aston Villa played well as well. You can't forget that, but we didn't play great. This is the Between the Lines podcast. See you in the next one. Peace out. Between the Lines.